Want to speak real Turkish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at turkishclass101.com.
Herkese merhaba, ben Seda. Hi everybody, my name is Seda. Welcome to turkishclass101.com. Today we will talk about a fun topic again. Etiquette in Turkey. Görgü kuralları. Görgü kuralları. We have so many. I actually don't know where to start. Let's start with the hospitality, okay? Misafirperverlik. Being invited to a Turkish home is an honor. Whenever the time is that you have been invited, doesn't matter, you should expect to eat something and drink tea. It is very common to cook and bake for your guests. Instead of just buying it, if you are living in Turkey, just keep that in mind, okay? And invite other people to your home. You should preferably cook yourself, but if you can't, don't get stressed. You can get something from a bakery and serve that as well. Don't worry. In urban homes, you'll sit at a table if you are eating regular meals, and if it's tea time, you may sit on the couch. If you are visiting a village house, however, sometimes the meal is served at a low table with cushions on the floor. So you should sit on the floor and hide your feet under the table or a cloth provided for that purpose. But honestly, I know there are some homes doing that, but I have never done that. I have never eaten like that. So I just saw it from the movies. About the food, Turkish cuisine is very rich and very delicious. So you would definitely find something you like. But we don't have a habit of asking about your allergies or food choices. We just assume. We assume that you eat everything, but don't worry. Since generally there are plenty of options, you will find something for your taste and preferences. And don't be surprised to be insisted on eating something. That's just part of our culture. We think that everybody is hungry and starving all the time. So don't get offensive. It's just a way of Turkish hospitality. And let's continue with restaurants, paying in restaurants. This part is a little bit tricky. Of course, there are all sorts of relations. But when you're dining out with someone, paying separately is not that common. Wanting to pay separately could be understood as some kind of offensive, as if you want nothing to do with that person around you. The ideal thing generally is either divide the cost by people, or if it's you that invited the people, it's a gesture to cover the whole bill. The way of Turkish hospitality suggests that the host pays for the meal. You may try and offer to pay, but you would never be allowed to do so. You may see other Turkish men fighting over, who will pay the bill. It's so funny. So that's a regular scene. And most business gatherings take place in restaurants. We, like the Italians, enjoy eating together. And if someone invites you to a dinner, either at their homes or at a restaurant, the proper way of thinking is to invite them to a place of your choice and pay or prepare the meal yourself. And tea and Turkish coffee is served at the end of most of the meals, every meal. Turkish coffee is a national drink. They ask how you drink it, because if you prefer sugar, it's prepared with sugar beforehand. You wouldn't add it afterwards like the regular coffee. And don't drink the bottom of the cup. This is the cup. It will be full of coffee, ground coffee. You are supposed to leave that part at the bottom. And some people use this, the part of fortune telling. Let me show you. After you drink it, you just cover it like this. And you let it cool down. Sometimes you put a coin or your ring here, so it cools down easily. And then you hold it like this and you read the signs. And generally someone else do it for you rather than you're doing yourself. And you do this and read this part. And one more note about being a host: you never say, "Can you leave, please," to your guest. It's considered very rude. Let me tell you an anecdote. When I was living in another country for some time, the first time I was visiting a friend, I was asked to leave around 9:30 p.m. The host said to me that she needed to get up early the next day and I needed to leave. And I thought it was so rude and was offended at first. Then I learned that it was part of their culture. But in Turkey, even if you have to get up early, you are tired, you wouldn't say that your guests should leave. The guests are a big part of the culture. And we have a saying for it, Tanrı misafiri, Tanrı misafiri, translating as a guest of God. Um, Especially if you are traveling in villages and you say you're hungry, for example. People will give you food for free. They will invite you to their home, and sometimes they will offer you a bed because you're a guest of God and it's expected to honor the guests. Okay, that's it. And dress code. What is acceptable and not dress-wise depends on which part of the country or which part of the city you are visiting. Beaches, for example, during summer are, as I guess, everywhere. You can swim in bathing suits, or if you want to dress more modestly, then that's okay too. And in Turkey, there are all sorts of different people. Some women cover their heads, some not. Some men dress more conservatively, some not. Overall, it's up to the people. And of course, some places require certain dress codes. On beaches, for example, you are expected wear beachwear. And in mosques, both men and women should dress more conservatively. Shoulders and legs should be covered. Women expected to cover their heads, but it's okay to put a shawl around head. No one expects you to cover fully. And in daily life, dress however you like. Observe your surroundings and dress accordingly. I think it's like that in every culture. You should be observant about where you are. And bargaining. This gets asked a lot. Bargaining in regular shops are not that common actually. Most people think that bargaining is acceptable everywhere, but outside of bazaars and weekly markets, it's not common at all. And regular customers can be treated generally in their neighborhood though. And body language. Yeah, let's talk about body language. Let me show you some gestures that we do in our daily life. Hayır. Hayır. Saying no. Hayır. This means no. Hayır. Lezzetli or very good. When we like something, this is what we do. Sometimes. Hayır, teşekkürler. Or just like this. Put your right hand to your heart. No, thank you. That's enough. And this is when we think that someone is going nuts, crazy. Okay, these are the ones that I can think of it right now. About other things. Passing gas in public is not acceptable, and we don't generally blow our nose loudly in public. We just dab it like that with a tissue. We dab it. Don't go like in public areas. And smoking. A lot of people still smoke in Turkey. I don't, but a lot of people do. But things have changed in recent years. Smoking was banned in all public areas, including bars, cafes, restaurants, and clubs, and transportations. But people do smoke outside of those places in the open air. So know about that. And when meeting formally, we shake hands, and friends and relatives would greet each other with like 2 kisses on the cheek and a pat on the back. Like, this is not like just exact like a kiss, but it's like touching your cheeks together. But it should be 2. But with the COVID and all, everyone keeps their distance, But the culture is like that. Mm. Okay, the communication. Turkish people generally prefer to do business with those they know and respect. And therefore, they spend time establishing a personal relationship. So you cannot exactly separate business and personal lives. And conversation may start slowly with many questions that may seem irrelevant to the purpose of your visit. There can be questions about your family, children, and so on. It's not prying. That's the way Turks talk. Don't get offensive and say, it's personal, or ask them to get to the point. It will be considered rude. You can ask them back, like, how's your family? How's your kids, wife, husband, blah, blah, blah. And personal space. Turkish people do not require as much personal space one would want. They will stand close to you while conversing, and that bothers me a lot, actually. I like my personal space. But, don't get offensive. It's like they don't know where to stop. So, naming, addressing a person. When addressing a Turkish person, the most common way is to call a man by his first name, followed by bey, such as Ahmet Bey. And a woman, her first name, followed by hanım, such as Seda Hanım. Okay? You can also hear efendim a lot. It is said generally by service staff, such as from a waiter, secretary, taxi driver, doorman, shop staff, etc. But also you answer the phone like that. Alo, efendim. In a sense like so. Hello, what? Efendim. Okay. Okay, I think these are the basics, and I think we covered a lot. Which ones are weird for you, and which ones are similar to your culture? Leave some comments about your own culture. Share your own culture's funny social rules and etiquettes. Talk about the personal space and smoking, and do you kiss twice? Do you kiss once, or maybe 3 times? I don't know. Like, write your own culture's different weird etiquette. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope I will see you next time. Take care. Kendinize iyi bakın. Görüşürüz.
Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.